pick one. Pick one that you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable with Facebook, stay with Facebook. If you're comfortable with Instagram, stay with that. TikTok, YouTube, whatever it is, but pick one. You have to pick one, because if you don't and you don't adapt, you will be left behind. And there are, old school ways of doing things. And I can say this, especially in my industry for real estate, right? It is like, so people just, we have a mixed generation that was a huge amount of realtors coming into the industry right around COVID. I'm one of them. I'm one of them. But and then you have the generation that's before, and so their version of marketing is, mailers and door knocking, and it just feels ingenuine to a lot of people. And so being able to talk like I'm talking to you, people feel like we're having a conversation. So when you're jumping on the platforms, you can give huge amounts of information that is content value, that is not always about selling, buying, me, about my business, about this. It's more about them and how you're benefiting them and solving a problem for your audience. And that is huge. And so you have to adapt to that and be comfortable. A lot of people will be self-conscious about how they look. I'm sorry, guys, you look how you look. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to look like that in person. People aren't just meeting you over the phone. They're meeting you in person. And so you are you, be comfortable with it, love it, be loving of yourself, and get over that. They don't care about that. They don't care what you look like. Can you provide great value, great service, and do you know what you're talking about? Do you offer, content to them that they could take with them and then share with whoever, or utilize that? And so it's so important in this day and age. And it's fun because you get to be silly with it. You get to be yourself. You get to show your other hobbies. You're not just all business. You're like a human. And this day and age, it's more about connecting with each other than it is corporate. And everyone that is in that corporate environment, not to say that corporate businesses are bad, they are not. They're great and they serve its purpose, but it's hard to relate to. And people don't feel like it's so personalized. Like, somebody actually cares about me on the other end of this, whether working in it or using them as a business. And so we're making that shift to this more personalized way of doing business.
No, you think you're so right. And it's interesting because I feel like I'm caught in that transition myself. Slight spotlight on me when I talk about my experience. But no, like, so I got my first job when I was 16, and my second job at the age of 16 was in an office. And so I started working in an office environment at the age of 16, and I very much got comfortable with that corporate mindset of everything's about the brand. You protect the brand. The customers come for the brand. And you're right. Like, it's really just a numbers game in that world. It's a numbers game on what attracts you to that brand. So like you said, there's a real estate brokerage that might buy the billboard on top of the highway, or they may put the sign on the bench, right? But it's really just get that brand name out there so that you remember it and you're like, oh, I need a house, I might as well reach out to this company. Whereas we're moving into this world where, like you said, it's very personal and it's not led by the brand, it's led by value. And that's a really interesting way of, I think, framing the transition of business that we're in. I think it's just a well put point that I myself am trying to get from behind the brand, because I'm all about the brand. But it's like, yeah, but
you are the brand. Yes, but you are the brand. That's the thing. It's no longer a company. Without people, there's no company, right? So you are the brand, and that's why influencers are so big right now in the platforms of Pinterest. Gigantic right now, or even TikTok, where they're talking about what they like. You know what I mean? Like, I drink this because I enjoy this. It's Market Basket, guys, but a plug in there. But I drink this because I enjoy it, and this is what I do for my daily routine. That is, you are the brand. You are represent. You know what I mean? It's you are the brand, and people want to know about you and your personal life, because they want to relate, because we're, especially the last couple of years, we've been so isolated.
Yes.
Everyone is so kind of at, and it's hard. And I don't know about you, or if this just happens when you get older, and maybe I'm just speaking out of, whatever, but it's hard to connect and relate to people in a real way now. It's like, you try to make eye contact. Oh, good Lord. I feel like I'm I'm an extrovert introvert. When I get back from being out social, I am so white, because I'm like, I'm not used to this. I don't know how to talk to people anymore, relate, so it's like,
Yes.
we need that. It's important. It's
Yes.
really important.